Now we're going to be looking at numbers 8 through 11. So for 8 through 11, we are going to reference this to a table up above where we are comparing freshmen and sophomores and if they were or were not in a club. As you can see, everything is filled out for us, even our totals. So it says, what's the probability that a randomly selected student, so we're picking from everybody, we are picking from our total if it says randomly selected student, is in a club. So we want to look for the number of students who are in a club. Our total number of students are in a club, which is 28. And we're going to have 28 all over 50. 28 students are in a club, 50 students total since we're picking a random student. Now remember, you can leave your answers as a simplified fraction, so you do want to plug that into our calculator so it simplifies to be 14 over 25. You could also do that as a decimal, which would be 0.56, which should also then be a percent, which would be 56%. So now let's look at our next question. It also says a randomly selected student. Randomly selected student means we're pulling from the total of all 50 people. So of all 50 of those people, how many are a freshman who is in a club? So I want someone who has both characteristics, freshman and in a club. So I'm going to go back to my in a club category, find my freshman. I'm going to see how many fit into both, and that is going to be 10. So of these 50 students, 10 of them are freshmen who are in a club. So that is going to be 10 out of 50. Again, for your final answer, make sure we either simplify this fraction to be 1/5 or create it as a decimal, which would be 0.2. And then remember, to get to a percent, we take our decimal and we multiply it by 100, and that gives us our 20%. Looking at number 10, says what's the probability that a randomly selected student, again, a randomly selected student. Randomly selected student means we are pulling from all 50 people, is a freshman. So we want to look at the total number of freshmen. So here's our freshman. We want to look all the way at the end. We have 25. So we have 25 out of 50 are our freshmen. We do want to simplify that. 25 over 50 simplifies to 1/2, which would be 0.5 or 50%. And then our last question says, what's the probability that a randomly selected sophomore? So that's a tad bit different than what we've been doing so far. It says randomly selected sophomore. So I'm no longer picking from just anybody. I am only picking from my sophomores. What this is going to do is it's going to change my total to just be out of 25 people. I only want a randomly selected sophomore. And I want to see how many of those 25 are not in a club. And 7 of those. So our probability here would be 7 out of 25. That fraction does not simplify, so we can go ahead and take that straight to a decimal, which is 0.28 or 28%. If you got any other questions, look at some of our other videos or ask us.